Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Here we are. All right. Give me 1 second here while I make sure I get my amazing Maleah on board with us. All right, we'll get her in just a second. Say hi, guys, as you join. This is super exciting. Really excited to chat with my client, Maleah Jacobs, today. It's going to be awesome. So sit tight, tune in. She's going to share her experience in the Profit Launch Workshop, using it and leveraging that system inside our Profitable Entrepreneur Program. You're going to learn a ton of her experience and her results with it. Let me give a second here and we'll get her on board with us. Say hi, guys, as you join in the comments. Say hello. I hope everyone is doing well. All right. Hope you're all doing fantastic, taking good care of yourselves and your families. We're going to see if we can get her on here with us. All right. Give me a second. And say hi, guys, as you join. Say hello. Let me make sure I let you guys know. Tag everyone, let them know we're going live. It's going to be a superb interview, guys, so you definitely don't want to miss it. All right. We are live. Just tagged everybody. And Maleah should be popping on in just a second with us. So excited. All right. Okay. Give me a minute. All right, here she comes. Now I need to let her on. All right. Super excited. Okay, let me let her in so she can join us here. Awesome. Say hello. Say hello, guys, as you join. We're going to let her on. Here we go. Here she comes. You gotta love technology, guys. Give us a second. She is coming. All right. Yeah, Zoom can do that sometimes, guys. Fun times, always fun. All right, let me just pop this up here. There she is. Let's get her in. There we are, there we are.
Let me try.
No, lovely.
One of my Zoom settings was somehow allowing calls to come in, like spam calls. So it was a thing that I was trying to, I was trying to figure out, and also the Wi-Fi on a house, but I think I'm going to go onto the cellular situation. Okay. Do
sure.
that, because I don't want any hiccupy things.
Made it.
Yeah, and my ring light's not working, but I'm working.
But you're here. Yay!
Yes, totes.
I'm so excited to have you here.
We're not in the group yet, right?
We are.
Oh, we are.
We're here. Yay.
This is how it rolls.
Yeah. This is how it goes, right? Maleah, say hi to everyone. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you do.
Hi, my name is Maleah. I am an intuitive business consultant and mentor for women creatives in the online space that want to make bank without losing their shit.
Don't we love that? I love how you simplified it. Yes.
Thank you for your help with that because, yep.
Oh, so good. So good.
Less is more.
Totally. I agree. Okay, so I wanted to go back to a little bit at the beginning before you came into our program, right? Before you ever learned about the Profit Launch Workshop, the Profitable Entrepreneur Program, like Maleah before all of that, because girl, you've changed. You have changed.
Oh my gosh.
And evolved. Like you're a totally amplified different version. And I think it's just so important. So I want to go back to that because I think it's going to be good for you too, to be like, wow, right?
Yeah,
Who
totally.
Before you came in and started learning the system and working in the program with us, like tell everyone like what things look like for you then.
I feel like I put the hot mess. I was getting under my own way, bumping up against a bunch of stuff, subscribing to things that weren't my true truth, and feeling very much like the cobbler whose children had no shoes, or the overweight nutritionist, or so on and so forth, out of integrity, like the imposter syndrome stuff. I was on disability because of multiple chronic illnesses. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired and serving from that place, and then feeling so out of integrity, asking my clients to like, make sure you fill up your bucket first, then it's the excess that overflows when your cup runneth over. That's what we get to give away sustainably. So I was not walking my talk, or however that goes. I wasn't saying what I was suggesting or inviting my clients to entertain the idea of doing. So it felt really, and it wasn't sustainable. And I had invested heavily in my business education and my personal development stuff with like industry leaders, a couple of duds, but really great world-class people. I just didn't have the how of it. I didn't have the accountability, I didn't have all the things that I've been receiving from being a profitable entrepreneur. I wasn't a profitable entrepreneur. I was struggling, and I didn't even realize how bad I was struggling until, with like all the things, not just my business, but with life and my health. I was just, I would spin out around things. And as an intuitive, an empath, a highly sensitive person, I was like, oh, I was just telling my fucking stories to myself that weren't true. And I know, like, this is what I know. All of us are addicted to at least one thing, and that's to thinking. We all have a thinking problem. And I sure shit had a thinking problem. I still have somewhat of a thinking problem from time to time. Thank you for being a soft place to land for that, because I didn't even know what I didn't know. And I didn't have someone outside of here to reflect back like, hey, you're doing it the hard way. There's an easier, softer way. There's a better way. There's a way that's going to be more sustainable. And it was just, when I first became profitable, it was so crunchy in the very beginning, because I was realizing all this stuff I had been doing for years, that I was trying to adapt other people's stuff to my own, wasn't working. And like, I was so like, yes, because you don't do cookie cutter. You don't, it's customized for me. And like, I don't have to do a 5-day challenge or something, or workshop. I get to do what meets like my needs in serving other people and their needs. And like, I just wasn't thinking about clients or potential clients in the way that I think about them now. I felt sleazy about sales. I felt all that, and like I was just buying in. I didn't even know it. I was buying into the other people's, feelings or response. I was afraid of what people were going to think of me, realizing like, people, it's none of my fucking business what other people think of me, especially when it comes to running my business.
100%.
It's just subscribing to stuff that's not true, operating from a place of, not all the time, but largely a place of fear, false evidence appearing real, or fuck everything and run. So it was like this kind of frenetic, I was boxering you, crying, all that stuff. So I was just like thinking, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me that I can't figure all this stuff out? This is before I met you. What's wrong with me that I can't do these things just like these other business mentors are telling me to do, or showing me what to do? Like, why wasn't it working? What's wrong with me that I can't do that for myself? Why was it years of struggle and then I couldn't find a runway and set her down?
It's so bizarre because like when you and I first introduced, which was from, I believe, one of my profit launch workshop, I think you were in the group, right? And I was running that, and you registered, and then we got into conversation in the DM and Facebook, and we started to talk. And the funny thing is, like, you were just like, I reached out. I want in to the program. I want to come in this way. And you came into the program, but it's so funny because the way that you're sharing how you were, like, I didn't actually see any of that. Like, I mean, once you got in the program, we started to work together. We unfolded a lot of it, but like, our conversation was fast. Your decision was made. You were like locked in already.
Oh yeah.
And like, you were ready to go. What do you think, like going back? Cause like I said, you registered for that workshop, right? So you kind of spent some days over the week where I was live and I was teaching this, and you were like getting these aha moments and you were realizing some things. What do you think got you to the place? Because like I said, our conversation was quick. Like, I think when I reached out, you were already like, oh my God, I'm already locked in. I'm ready. And I was like, oh, wow. And I didn't know because we hadn't communicated before that.
No. I didn't even know who you were before that.
No, we had never connected, which is so bizarre. But what do you think? Like, I can't imagine now not being connected, right? But what got you to that place? Like, what was because you made past investments before. You've worked with people before. What got you to be
high dollar investments?
Right. I know.
For like so much for not so much in return. So the tipping point for me to be, I was already a self-confessed yes. You were popping. Like, it was just like, I knew that there was something in this for me. Yeah. One of my concerns was like, oh, my Mr. Was on the back end of my business, the CFO, and he makes sure that the right hand talks to the left hand and handles all that stuff. And I wanted to make, one of the things was like, oh, I want my team member to know what's going on too. And the biggest thing was like the Voxer access, and then also letting my Mr. be a part of. So it wasn't all on me, because if it was all on me, I would just implode probably.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So that was a big thing to like, and you said yes. And when you said yes to that, it just blew me away. It just totally blew me away.
It was an instant yes, like both of you kind
of. Yeah. Like, and I remember being in my kayak, because this was like in the summertime. And I know I was with my solar power battery pack, and I'm listening to the trainings, and like I was doing the work out on the lake.
Yes, I remember you were like, I'm on the lake right now, but I'm on my way back to the boat. And as soon as I get there, I'm going to talk to the Mr. We're like coming in. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good.
It happened so fast and so furious. And it's the investing in myself with being a profitable entrepreneur has been the best business decision and life decision I've ever made.
Well, because your life is transformed too, not just your business. You're a whole new like level of Maleah. Like, literally, there was not just a business transformation for you. Like, literally, your life has changed.
Yeah. Okay. So health is the first wealth. And I was on federal disability for years and years and years, bedridden for like a solid 5 years, undergoing the treatment for chronic late-stage Lyme disease, like all this stuff. Because of you and our work together, like I used to say, 90% of business problems are personal problems in disguise. 100% of business problems are personal problems in disguise. So while you're a sales coach and a sales mentor, you're an incredibly soft place to land. So you really were holding space for me. I would think of you and I'd feel better. And I remember, I'll never forget this. You told me on Voxer that you were actually had lit a candle and were praying for your clients, including me. That's just part of how you roll. So you were modeling that to me. And I'm like, wow, I get to think about serving in a different way. I get to think about serving in a sustainable way. And then you're modeling all this sustainable self-care, extreme self-care. You don't skimp on the massage, the nutritionist, the food, you're outrageously supported. And I get to be outrageously supported too. I'm fixing to, hire an online business manager tomorrow. I get a planner to help me with my, different containers and just a different perspective. And like, my receiving muscle has grown. It was all go, go, go and do. And it's like, I'm only one woman. I can't be all things to all people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I used to be like, no, I got it. Cause that's what my dad taught me. Like Maleah, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And
masculine side, right? We got to bring feminine too.
Yes. The divine, receptivity side. So my receiving muscle it's still getting more conditioning, because like just on the profitable training this morning, I was receiving so much from you. Yeah. It just feels like so much one-on-one, high touch, customized for me. And it really tested my bliss quotient, mm-hmm. my ability to like feel blissed out and outrageously supported. So supported. And I just haven't felt that way with any other, any capacity, any coach or friend or paid professional or a pit crew member.
And I think it's important. You're so well. It's my pleasure, right? I think it's important too for everyone to understand, like, coming into this program, like, it is very customized, right? Like, there's a whole group of us on those sessions, but you've said it and others have said, like, I feel like I'm the only one here right now with you, right? Like, and I think that's so important for us to get success in a program. I just feel that we could consume information all day, but like, it's not so much the information that's going to create any sort of success. It's the being able to implement it confidently and consistently. And you need the coaching and support to do that. And I feel like that is something missing in this industry, which is why a lot of people make investments and then they're like, I don't get it. It's not the program or the coach. It's just not, it doesn't have a combination of the right type of support, which is what we want you guys to design. And that's what we help you guys do, is bring your own little vision into this, create your own programs that also have that, the heart of it is that human connection and making your clients first, right? Like the humans. And we focus on that a lot in the program, right? A lot.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That is the cornerstone of everything that you teach, everything that you do, everything that I do now. I know sales happens in a conversation. I just didn't know how easy it would be to just be myself. And it's the push and the pull, it's attraction and it's promotion.
Correct.
And I have more self-confidence and self-esteem than I've ever had in my whole life.
You're not the same person.
I'm 51 years old.
I know.
So I'm sure I'm not the only person who's ever said that. And that's a big gift that it's huge.
It's life-changing for you. I mean, like you said, the transformation that you've had in a few months is just, it is mind-blowing, because it's not just business. Oh, I got some clients, I'm good at sales, I'm confident, I'm making money, but like your whole life is different. Like, it's so crazy, Maleah, because when I think back when you first joined the program, and I look back at our group coaching sessions, and I look back at our Voxer sessions, and I look back at just you as a person, and you are so different. You are more confident. You're more willing to always be like, it gets to be easy. It gets to be my way. Like, you're looking for less validation, and you're really just owning shit. And you said, your health is transforming. But I think it's important too for people to hear, like, you had to work really hard.
Yeah. No joke.
Really hard for that, right? Like internally and externally, we had to work on that. It was a progress, right? Like you had to show up every day and do a lot of work to get there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a cakewalk. It's not for everyone. For the right person, it's amazing. And I'm doing the work. It's like, trust God, but lock your car anywhere. Trust all, but type your camel. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get the information and I'm going to implement. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to do the next indicated thing. And if ever I was in doubt of like what that was, you were there. You've always been there. You and your team were always there, tagging me, responding in Voxer, all this like accountability. And I call it, I'll just call it what I call it. It's emotional handholding. It was, and that's what I really, really needed, was some emotional handholding. Not that I'm not competent or capable. It's just that I needed some guidance. I needed some cheering, some, like, Hugh and your team have been not only just a mental equivalent for me. In other words, like, I wanted what you had. I don't want to take it from you. I wanted to emulate it and make it my own. And I'm still like, and we're, months into this container, and I'm every day, like this last week, the workshop, that was my 4th.
I know.
Like, bells on, alive, showing up, getting so much every single time. And I have access to all the stuff on the membership site. I show up on the lives. I show up on the trainings. It's just like, you have so much. So just being, proximity is power, for better or not so much better. So I want to stick with the winners, because a rising tide lifts all the houseboats.
It does.
So I'm sticking around.
That's so amazing, because just today on our group coaching session, you were saying how, like, oh my gosh, I went through, like you said, you've been through the Profit Launch several times. I mean, you're in the program too. And it's
4 times.
Yeah, 4 times. And you're like, I still was taking massive notes and got so much that maybe you didn't hear before, or that didn't click before. And I think that what's important too is through your experience so far, I think that the one thing that you have done is you have stayed true to what has felt good for you. Like, anything that I've taught, any suggestion, if it didn't feel good for you, you always were like, Anne, grant me that permission to, like, I'm going to do it this way. What do you think? I want to do it this. This doesn't work for me, but this feels good. And I still want to use the system, the strategy, but I want to make it my own. What do you think about this? And I feel like, number one, you always stay true to that. And number two, you always do the work, even though we all have things that come up, get in the way, like, that show up, right? Like, with what's going on right now around the world, we got on our group session today and we riffed a little bit on how do we still continue to show up and serve, and do we, and what does that look like? And I think that we're always holding space for each other, right? To, like, work through these things that are coming up. And how do you feel? Because a lot of people struggle with that. We talked about that today. Like, a lot of people have a lot of emotions and feels, and that's part of business, that come up, but not everyone can move and take the action through those things. How do you feel that you've been able, like, what have you done for Maleah, that's helped you? Okay, I have these feels, I have these thoughts, the fears, the things, but yet I'm still going to just take the action and do the thing so I can get the outcome. Like, how are you doing that? What works for you?
Nimble, like you are, like, just the workshop, what I learn new information. So, like, you're adapting, adjusting, and then you're sharing with us. And, like, everything's so timely that I get to, like, put it into practice immediately. Like, I'm a now person, like, in the moment, now. And so that's been one of the key things, is like, I get the solution. If I'm noticing I'm in an uncomfortable comfort zone, I'm identifying it's a comfort zone and it's fucking uncomfortable. So I'm going to reach out to Anne, or post something in the group, or show up on the calls and receive timely, accurate, applicable action steps, accountability, celebration, support through the entire process. So just knowing that,
I know,
has allowed me to fucking breathe. And I have some crunchy moments, but my bounce back is so much quicker. Yesterday there was a few hours where I was, like, rapid cycling through all these emotions, and being an intuitive and all that stuff, there's a lot going on. And I knew what was going on. I could identify it. I could put my finger on it. I allowed myself to feel all the feelings and not hold my breath or get that stuff trapped in my body, because I know that there's a soft place to land. I know that there's a solution. I know that I, as long as I stick around and do the things, then I'm going to see the results, because half measures avail us nothing.
Yeah.
No thing. So I'm not a half-assed person. I'm full acidly doing
You are. You're full on.
I want the results. I want the outcomes. I want the benefits of the benefits. I don't want to pussyfoot around.
You're so willing to do the things for that.
And yesterday, after I was spinning out, I knew, like, this is a mindset thing. Yes, I was feeling stuff, but it was a mindset thing. And as soon as my solution was to get on to day 5, which I had, given myself permission last week to, like, take a few days off, whatever. And like last night, I'm like, I'm not gonna not listen to that day 5. That's really mission critical. So that was my solution last night. Like, I was already up in bed, like fixing to maybe dial down. I popped on day 5 and I had your energy, your words, your voice in my head. And that was my solution. It's a mindset thing. And then I got to focus on, like, my next launch and how I'm going to, and then I'm like getting all excited, and I'm passionate about, like, delivering something exquisite to my clients, in my container, multiple containers. So it's just been an all in all, like, mind bending, mind expansive, it's been phenomenal.
And I think that's important for people to hear, that it wasn't like this one little thing. It wasn't like, oh, I got here from the launch, or I got here from this strategy or whatever. I think it's been a multitude of the inner work, the mindset, the building up the confidence around going and claiming and owning these things that we say that we want. I think then it's been declaring the coaching, the support, the way, the strategy, the accountability, and then the consistent repetition of implementing the things that you're now learning and we're planning and talking about. And I think when you bring all of those together consistently with the right support, that's what brings everything full circle. And I think that that's a big missing piece in the industry. So people are getting a half circle, or they're getting a piece of it, but they're not getting the full circle of it, right? Like, it's work in all of those departments, right?
Which led to crazy making, because, like, it's all these unfinished task loops.
Yeah.
And then, like, oh, I felt so unsettled. I didn't know, like, how to find a runway and set her down or do the thing. But with you, totally different. Totally different. One of the kind of thoughts that I was like, a year-long thing, like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't even know what day it is right now.
You did say that too. You did
think that 6 months from now or a year from now, like, who am I going to be a year from now? Holy, I
know.
Universe amazed me, and it does when I get out of my own way. So I'm still, every single time and every day, I'm learning stuff from you. I'm learning by watching you. I'm learning by showing the fuck up for myself and for my business and for my clients and for my mister and for my horse.
And the horse.
Not gonna lie. Yeah.
And have not all those things so evolved? Like, you've got the best clients. You've got, like, fully supported with, like, the mister and, like, the people that you're hiring. Like, your clients are good. Your engagement in your group is great. Like, your energy is good. It's like these massive shifts everywhere. It's like this major ripple effect. And I see that, like, you're always posting this, like, oh my God, another win, another success, another huge breakthrough, another great thing. Like, even though you have things that you got to work on and do and that come up, you're still able to, like you said, pivot faster through those things. Because I always say it's not about eliminating this stuff. Like, you don't need to be fearless. Fear is okay. Like, we don't need to be fearless. We don't need to be, unshakable. And, like, I think it's just pivoting through those things faster, like learning the skills and having the right support to say, okay, this is coming up, instead of sitting with it for 5 months, let's tackle it now, and boom, have the shift, right?
Totally. That was me. That used to be me. Used to be me. Yeah.
Oh, that is so not you now. You definitely pivot much faster.
And I'm more present.
You are.
Like, in the moment for myself, which feels in alignment with what I do and how I serve.
Yep. You're such a different person. It's amazing.
Totally different. Gosh. And I'm so excited because I still get to shift, evolve, and change and grow. Like I said, every single day, I am learning something from being profitable.
You are. It's so amazing to watch too from like this side. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, because I think sometimes we don't even acknowledge those successes or wins because we're so head down, like we're so close to the business and what we're doing that taking a
Totally.
step back, like I tell you all the time, and I tell everybody in the program, go back and listen to your our coach and replays from like a few weeks or a few months ago. Go back and look because I want you to see how different you are now and how present and how much you've shifted because we don't notice it all the time when we're head down in things, right?
And I'm too close to the canvas of myself. I can't not be in my head all the time because this is where I am. Like I'm not my thoughts, yet I'm in here all the time. So like you reflect back to me the things that I don't see about myself. So my own progress, my own, trajectory, and the trend has been my friend. It might be 5 steps forward and 1 step back, but like that's fucking progress all the same.
Every step is progress. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Feels
crazy.
really good.
So tell people a little bit about now that they kind of understand where you were, where you are, share with them a little bit like how the strategies that we teach in the program from, we teach the launch. That's a big, it's a big piece of what we do. We get everybody into that. We teach the sales. We teach those different social selling systems that I think are lead-in factors right now in the direction the industry is going. It's what's kind of missing in the industry. Share a little bit about how adopting those and making those your own, like share what strategies you've used to have success so far and that maybe you weren't using or weren't using the way you are now before, and how you've created, like share your success with those, like what that's done for you.
I celebrate more than I ever have before. Like my wins and my clients' wins and their clients' wins. Like there's, their success is my success and so on and so forth. Like I'm about impact, and I see that ripple effect, and it's so gratifying to see that. And I see how I get to serve in a, like I've always been like serving at a refined level, and now it's a refined level, and it's with sustainability, and it's intentional. I have more intentionality. Is that a word? Yeah. I'm just more mindful.
Words, so it don't matter.
I'm way more intentional about things. I am. Yeah. What was the question? Let me.
Yeah, like the strategies that you've used in
the program. Yeah. Okay. Social selling, the DMing, the having the conversation, knowing that, yes, it's about people and serving them, and it's a numbers game. Like I don't get to have to take anything personally at all. Like people, like we're on social media, yo.
Right.
If you send me a Facebook friend request and I reach out to you and say, hi, new friend, thanks for the connection, how's your week going? And I hear crickets, it's like, whatever, moving on. I don't take anything personally. For the most part, or if I do, I'm like, oh, okay, that's not about me. It's not about me. The other thing is like my business and my body, my person is not a democracy. Yeah. I get to, be the, like just this morning talking about our spaces, my secret Facebook group and my free community. Like that's my home. I get to treat it like I would my home. And like the no one left behind policy, and like just the entry questions and the circle back call, and like it's really about the human connection, and that feels so good. It feels so juicy good to connect that way. So all the stuff, the people, the detractors, or like I used to be afraid of, haters or people like the slings and arrows, let's just call that. Like that's not, it doesn't have anything to do with me. So I don't even give it like, get thee behind me. It's not a factor. And I'm friendly with the block feature now on social media. Like if I notice I'm going to censor myself because family or block, like you've given me full tilt permission to block, unfriend, unsubscribe to limiting beliefs, unsubscribe to, whatever it is that I was putting stock into. So it's it's just so juicy good. Like,
Isn't it?
and my clients are literally everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like I get to be visible and be findable so they can find me.
Isn't
And
it?
I'm not for everyone, and everyone's not for me, but
No.
I get to be of service in a way that I always wanted to be,
Yes.
but I wasn't there. It was
You weren't stepping
very,
in.
very
You weren't owning it.
disempowering.
Yeah, you
No,
didn't own it.
no, I didn't own my value the way
Yeah.
that I do now. I didn't own my worth the way that I do now.
Because you've given yourself permission, like you're saying, to not take things personal and make stuff your own or make up stories that are other people's and they don't belong to you. And it does create this sense of power and creativity and inspiration in your business with how you start to show up and how much you focus your energy on the things that really count versus being like, oh my God, this one didn't accept. It creates this whole different energy. I think a lot of that shifted for you and helped you step into you raised your prices. What was it? I remember one of our first coaching sessions, and I remember you were saying like something around, because you know me, I'm always like, up your prices, guys, up your prices. It's a thing. Up your prices, up your prices. I'm always challenging you guys to increase your prices so you can attract a higher level person that is at your energy level, right? They want that transformation. And I think that when you first came to me, I don't know, let me know if I have it right. I want to say when you first joined the program, you were nervous about charging around that $5,000 mark for your one-on-one coaching. Is it that?
It was 10,000. It's now 10,000.
Okay, yeah. There was so much hesitation around that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but this and this and I'm like, we worked a lot about your value. It's about the transformation, the experience you're holding, the container. It's not about what they get and how hard you work and how many sessions and the time of them.
Or how pretty my stuff looks like.
No, we didn't care about stuff, right? No stuff.
Nobody cares about tech or my Google Drive or whatever.
No,
people aren't paying for that. They want me. They want the juice. They want the space holding, the transformation.
Yes. And I remember when you started signing higher level clients, you were like, God damn, Anne, like it really up-leveled you, right? Because it got you behind seeing that it was about the value, it was about the transformation, the experience and space you're holding for them, and the mentality of the type of clients you were bringing in. They were investing for a transformation. That's what they were paying you for. And it allowed you guys to connect differently, where you saw that value and you were like, oh, hell yeah, I'm increasing my prices. You're welcome.
Yep, absolutely. And it also allowed me to like riff and be like creative with my not being a cookie cutter. Like there's, clients I've worked with that are, it's like, yeah, of course. And then you'll get this and that and that and that, and we'll make that work. And really it's like an offer they can't refuse, or they can, but like, then that's just not a time. It's a not now thing. It may be a later client, and maybe that there's more touch points or something involved, but you've definitely shortened the, the conversion time spent, the conversion rate. Yeah. You shrunk it to like within a day, really.
Yes. Because I think there's already enough barriers between you and your client. We already have so many barriers. And what we try to focus on in the program and with you guys, with each one of you individually, is like, okay, let's look at what things look like for you. How can we simplify this? Because it's easy to make it complicated in our heads, right? But like my job is like, no, let's make it easy, make it simple. Here we go. It's this, and this, go, right? Like, and cutting that conversion time, like limit or eliminate as much as we can of those barriers between you and the client, and get the sale and the conversion happening faster, move it along a little bit quicker, right? And I think that's really important in this industry, to simplify.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would overcomplicate things, like, oh, I want to redo my website, or I need new copy, or I need to have more moving fucking parts on that shit. It's like, no, Maleah, no, you don't. So like, you gave me a lot of pattern interrupts that really, really did me a great service, because I was just getting in my own way, overthinking things, thinking it had to be hard, because that's what was modeled to me. Welcome to the human condition. Bending, sacrificing, like, ugh, it's not helpful for
Negotiating.
me or the people I'm serving. Like they get to fall down, pick themselves up, dust themselves off. Like that's where we get genuine self-esteem and confidence, which is what you've been doing for me. You're not doing the work for me. I'm doing the work.
You're working.
But
You're doing it.
you're modeling it for me. And anytime I ask you a question like, who's on your team? How does that work? Like hiring this morning on the call, the training, which is like a coaching. Well, it was so one-on-one. So like I'm fixing to hire someone and you walked me through that whole process and I wanted to know who's on your team, who does the roles and how much is it? So you're totally transparent. 100%. I love that about you. I love so many things about you. And that's just one of a squillion.
Yeah. Well, you guys make my job so easy. And I think that's what it can be for everybody. You should love your clients. My clients are my family. You guys mean so much. Like you guys are my thoughts, my prayers, I'm always thinking like, what can I do for them? What can I do to help them? Like you guys are always, I'm thinking about you guys all the time. And I think that's an important piece in a high level program. And I think that more and more people need to be bringing that into, their programs and their services.
Yeah. Because right at the same time I onboarded with being a profitable, I was in another container for like 6 or 8 weeks, and I was trying to, I won't do that again.
Right. You were, yeah.
But yeah, it was just that was a high dollar investment, and I got maybe 3 things that were I'm not gonna like be down on that. It was just like I got what I got, and it was not like the contrast is what I wanted to highlight was like this container versus being a profitable entrepreneur. It was like apples and oranges. It wasn't even the same thing at all. Like, and I've been in other containers, and I'm sure I'll be in other containers, throughout my business. Yeah. But like, I'm not going anywhere. Like everything that you do and say, and I'm always picking up what you're throwing down. I can't wait to be in your mastermind.
I know. Oh, you're on your way there. You're on your way there, girl. You are.
I got my goals. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. And so some people are thinking about the profitable entrepreneur. Like they've come in the workshop, they're going through the workshop, they're thinking about it. And I think for a lot of people, what's coming up is like, oh my gosh, number one, I've had investments before that didn't work out, or they might be tied in an investment right now, the way they're like, I'm in this investment, but I'm not getting what I want. And then this is like a 12-month commitment. Now, you obviously are in my program, so you know my intentions and my thoughts behind why it's a 12-month container. But you didn't know that when you joined either, right? So like 12-month container, bad previous investments, freaking out you're not making the money you want in your business. Like, how did you come to the decision of like, I'm going to join this, lock in this 12-month commitment with this woman?
It was how you showed up. I knew you were like totally bringing your A game and delivering the daylights out of everything. And like in the past, I was with my first one-on-one coach, and I just wasn't, it was a lot of intake paperwork, a bunch of fluffy stuff. And then I was on a wait list. So this is years ago. I was on a wait list of another coach. And then 3 months into the first one, I was like, okay, I'm over here now, because I was on a wait list.
Right.
So I just wanted to get into your orbit so much. I wanted what you had. I knew that you were it was just boom, you popped. So I knew like it was such a no-brainer after I was thinking it through. And then at the investment level, to invest in myself, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I know it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. If you think you're going to show up for a year in the profitable entrepreneur and rest on your laurels and not do the work and not do the mindset stuff and get your physical house in order, your mental house in order, your spiritual house in order, your fiscal house in order, all that stuff, like then just bypass, keep going. There's another group for you. There's another container for you, or not. Like you just go, you do you, boo. I'm gonna be over here because my mama didn't raise no dummies. Let's count my brothers. So it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer because of all these past investments at different levels, but like I've invested heavily with business mentorship. Nobody's brought it like you have.
Do you think that a lot of because obviously a lot of my clients tell me like your energy, your space, and like just I have to be in it. And even in the workshop, I had a couple of people that are like, I wish I could bottle your energy, right? And the mister, your significant, lovely other is like, well, you can get it bottled if you join the program. Like that's where it's at, right? But like, do you think that just being who you are and not trying to be anyone else and just owning something you really take a stand for, do you feel like, I know we talk about this all the time in the program, that's such a big piece in attracting awesome, dreamy clients that aren't flinching at 12 months or 6 months or money. It's the experience and the energy, and they just want to be in that and be elevated to that. I think that plays a big part.
Absolutely. It's so much easier for me to discern who's going to be a great fit. Right. And I am really, really selective about who I allow into my orbit, whether it's a one-on-one or it's my group or I'm fixing to launch another group. Thank you very much. So yeah, I get to be very selective because
you've turned people away.
Oh yeah. I've, you know, they're out of my paid group. There's a couple that I just weren't good fits, and that's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's like,
that's awesome.
I'm not going to make someone be in my program that doesn't want to be there.
That's right.
Or isn't showing up. Like, you can't do that. And then like, it does a disservice to everybody else in the group.
Yes.
And you gave me permission to be like that mama bear energy. Like, this is my group. This is my rules. These are my people. I'm protective. I don't want to, like just any old jackhole coming in and thinking they're going to like not show up or not do the work or not, you know, be on camera on Zoom and like, let's connect.
I love that, because that's definitely not how you were when you came in, right? Like to turn away clients and to be really picky. And we talk about put your boundaries in place, like have boundaries, have a qualification process. Like, you know, it plays a big part in who you attract, but it's also about you owning, this is what I want, this is what I'm available for, and this is what I'm not available for, and I'm not going to apologize for that. And you just own that, and I love that.
Yeah, my non-negotiables, which thank you for that. I know what they are now. I didn't have any non-negotiables before, and I'm still getting more non-negotiables. You know, like I still I'm raising my standards all the time.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. It really is every day. I swear, like one day feels like a month. I'll say to myself like, oh, Anne was just saying last month, and I'm like, that was yesterday. My life has gotten so big, so big, such a big life. The life that I always wanted, but I didn't know how. It was none of my business, the how. I outsourced it to the universe, and then boom sauce. Now I know the how, and I have the guidance and the accountability, the tools, the community. The community of being a profitable entrepreneur is just exquisite.
It blows my mind every day. It blows my mind every day. Like, you guys are connected, co-creating, collaborating. I mean, when I've been off on vacation, because we do take vacation, right? We have a life. When I'm off on vacation, you guys are in there. Hey guys, how are you doing? Let's comment below. Let's chat. Let's support each other while Anne's away. Like, some of you are like working together, collaborating together, meeting each other,
hiring each other, sharing resources.
Oh my God. And it blows my mind, because obviously I have big visions for my program for every single one of you guys. I have my own little like visual vision for each one of you and how that's going to play out. And then the community as a whole. And it still blows my mind when I go in there or when I'm away and come back, and it's like, look at you guys, like forming these relationships and impacting and elevating and co-creating together. And I think that's a huge staple to a program that's 12 months. And it's a huge staple to success in business, like to not feel alone and on this by yourself and lost in information and like, you know, not having that support, or being in a 12-month program that doesn't offer all of those beautiful different things in the community.
Precisely. And in fact, everything that you've been doing in the Profitable Entrepreneur is happening in my group.
I know.
Like, so you do practice what you preach. Yeah. You are walking the talk. You're doing it. And then like you just walked us through your whole live conversion event, your launch, and like you're showing us, you're teaching us as you're doing it. Like you're totally transparent that way. I love that about you. There's so many coaches that won't say who their mentors are or who they're like. Just, you share so much. You're so transparent. So
I'm
beautiful.
an open book, right? I'm an open
You
book.
totally are.
Always tell everyone I'm going to share the good, bad, the ugly, because it's all part of the journey. I'll never share my shit storm while I'm in it, but I'll always give you the outcome after of, hey guys, we went through this. Here's what we experienced, tested, found. And now here's our suggestions to you guys, because now we've done this and we've tested and da, 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 da. Here's what worked. Here's what didn't. And I think so many people hide that. So many people just talk about, I made this much money. I did this, I did that, all the good stuff. But the people that aren't there yet are like, but wait a minute, how do you get there from here? There's all of this. What does that look like? So I'm always an open book with you guys. You can ask me anything and I'll tell you.
Absolutely. And all of that you just described leads to, in my opinion, shame, because then we feel like, oh, I'm not doing this right. Or there's like something's wrong.
I suck.
I'm fundamentally flawed and therefore unlovable. So I'm just going to walk around like a sad sack when like, I don't have to do that at all.
No.
But I spent decades living that way.
Me too.
Not anymore.
Me too.
Right?
Get it.
And you shared more of your story on Thursday than I had ever heard before. I was like, thank heavens it was alive on Facebook and not this, because I was sobbing. Like because it was so struck a chord in me with my story. It's like, oh wow, it's so powerful that like our dark past is the greatest possession that we have, because with that we can avert crisis, misery, death, which is no small thing, and then shine a light, be a beacon of light into the world to say like, hey, there's an easier, softer way. You don't have to do it this hard way. And like you are in an uncomfortable comfort zone. It's a comfort zone still, and you get to be out of it.
Yeah.
And I will still be in another uncomfortable comfort zone, and then I get to be out of it again. Because new level, new devil, for don't really subscribe to that, but you know what I mean. Like at the next level, it's like, oh, I used to think, because of PTSD and whatnot, that one of my biggest fears was being visible. It's like I would catastrophize and do that Stephen King scenario, the horror story, in like 60 seconds or less. Like I'm going to be at a speaking engagement in front of thousands of people or 80,000 people on the Jumbotron or something, and this is like, I'm really coming clean here with some, it's just a thought that is, the probabilities was extraordinarily low, but I still had the thought that I would be assassinated. There, I said it. That was like a root thing in my unconscious that really was in my conscious. And then no wonder I was hiding.
Yeah.
Not hiding anymore.
Not hiding anymore. You're so visible, so loud and proud.
Doing the podcast, doing the summits, doing the, I'm doing it.
You are.
Showing up for myself and for my clients, for my mister, for everything.
Everything in all the ways. I think that's so important. What would you say? Because obviously, I think, everyone is on their own journey. Everyone reacts, responds, and deals with things in their own way. And I think there's a lot of people right now that have identified with you guys, your stories, your experiences before and after. They've identified with what I've been sharing and talking about in the Profit Launch. And they also identified that the Profitable Entrepreneur Program is probably that next best step for them. Like it's something that they need, they're missing, they want it. It sounds so perfect, but they have all this self-talk and these stories and fears. And there's so many things getting in the way of them locking in a yes for themselves and just doing it and trusting me, trusting the process, my methodologies, and trusting themselves. What would you say to those people that are like, I want to leap, but, right? What would you suggest or share or say to them to kind of help them sort that through and make a decision?
I know this to be true. We can measure what we're going to lose, the time, the money, the whatever, all that stuff. We can't measure what we're going to gain. Yeah. So it's like asking Sir Edmund Hillary after he came down from Mount Everest, say, mate, what's the view like from up there? It's like I could go to the IMAX theater and see it on camera, but unless I do that, with my Sherpa,
Yeah.
Sherpas,
Yeah.
then I don't know what that's like. So now that I'm a profitable entrepreneur, I get to look back and go, oh yeah, pat
Yeah.
myself on the back for listening to my intuition, doing the next indicated thing, taking that leap of faith, knowing that I get to trust most of my judgment most of the time with most of the people.
Yeah.
I wasn't always that way. I was very like, didn't trust my own judgment
Yeah.
because it felt like it had led me astray.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really that. It was just that I hadn't met Ankini yet.
You didn't have
So
that
if someone is on the fence, but you're feeling it, like, you know, and you're knower that you know that this is for you, do it. Pull the trigger. Just do it. Just do the damn thing. The Mel Robbins rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Not to be forceful, but just I'm encouraging you to, like, we're not terminally unique. You know, we're not like oh yeah, Jolinda, who's a profitable on Instagram, so, you know, with all the stuff that's going on the planet. I saw one of her posts saying it's the self-talk that she was saying to herself, which I've adopted as for myself, is like, Maleah, there's other women on the planet that are feeling exactly the same way you are right now, in this moment right now. And that just, I don't know, not misery loves company, but it was just,
well,
it was a comfort to me.
We're not exceptions. We're not exceptions to the rule. There's other people who have been there, done that, feeling that right now, right? And I think that you make the decision and then trust the process, trust yourself, trust the support you're invested in. You have to have that trust and that faith that you're making the best decision at the best time for you, right? And go with that.
Absolutely. It's a leap. It's a leap of faith, and it's you know, it's the best decision I've ever made. And it's for anyone that's anywhere in their business trajectory. It's going to shave years off of their upward trajectory, like years and heartache and pain and like being broke or sick and tired or any of that stuff. So especially at the, I mean, it's not accessible to everybody on the planet, but oh my gosh, it's really accessible. Like the investment in myself to be a profitable entrepreneur, it was just, I have the quick wins that I got so quickly from being a profitable were just like, well, I have tripled. I'm not even tripled. I don't even know. I haven't even done the math yet on the investment of myself being a profitable entrepreneur. It's just out of this world.
Yeah, it's so good. You've done so.
Yeah.
You've done awesome.
Thank you for all your support and all your help and all your guidance and all your above and beyond. And you just, like, I have sent clients your way because like, I don't do what you do, but it dovetails nicely. But like, get with Anne, because she's the expert. She's the specialist. She's the, you know, like you're the bee's knees. You are the real deal. So I'm really transparent in my group or with my clients. Like, I don't do what you do. So just get in Anne's orbit, just pick up what she's putting down, and then do the implementation. And if you like some support around it, be a profitable entrepreneur. It just seems to me, from where I am now, hindsight's 2020, it's a no-brainer. But I know, like, when you're measuring, like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to have this much, or 3 months from now, you're going to have it. When you get in there and you do the next indicated thing. You'll have support, you'll have community, you'll have team, you'll have all that stuff.
Yeah, you just meet in the middle, right? Like, we're in it together, and I always say that we're on this journey together. Totally. And this isn't the end of the journey, it's the beginning of it. Like, we're just getting started, right? Always.
That blows my mind. It totally blows my mind that we're just getting started. Like, it really just, I can't even imagine a week from now, 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now, let alone a year from now. I can't even imagine how fabulous things are going to get for all of us. And really, like, all on the calls, I'm not always on with everybody because like we're all busy leading lives.
You're working.
And I'm totally. I'm running my groups. I'm doing my things. I'm with my horse. I'm with my mister. I'm kayaking. I'm this, that, and the other. And we're all cheering one another on. Like, when Grace has a win or Terry has a win or Keisha has a win, like,
It's
yes,
absolutely
standing ovation,
yeah.
big celebration, because there's no competition. There's not even that mentality of the pie. Like, oh, I got to get my piece of the pie because it's or if I take too much, it's going to take away from somebody else. It's like, guess what? There is no fucking pie.
I know.
There's
It's
plenty for
total,
all.
it's like constant elevation for everybody, right? Like elevation,
Yes.
support, and co-creation, community, and like everyone is helping each other rise in there, and it's phenomenal. It's game changer.
And it's totally what the world needs now, right now, is like women to take our place and to speak up and speak our truth with compassion and be leaders.
Yes.
To help the world rise up, because we're the ones that we've been waiting for. We're it's on us. So if not now, when? Like a year from now, are you gonna, like, a year's gonna pass regardless.
Yep.
Right? So are you gonna be a profitable entrepreneur or no? Not so much. Are you gonna do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? Or like dip your toe in the water here with this little course and then that little thing and then that little thing and think that's gonna work for you? Trust me, I've tried. Yeah. I've tried all that stuff. I've done all that stuff. That didn't work. Didn't work for me.
I always say, like, do you plan to have a business in 12 months? Like, do you plan to keep your doors open and operate your business for the next 12 months? Or are you thinking in the next 12 months, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go get a job or go back on welfare, or I'm going to shut my business down. I'm going to give up on my dream. And I'm going to maybe have my significant other support me. I'm going to go back to my old ways, right? Most people, they're not. They want to have the business in the 12 months running and operating. And this is a great opportunity for the right people to come in and get the support to actually make that happen this year for them.
Absolutely. And for women, there's nothing more disempowering for a woman to not have the financial means to make those decisions for ourselves and our children and our children's children and our community. Like I'm creating jobs. I'm like one of my big whys is like my new hire, like she's got 3 kids.
That's right.
Like I'm like, that's a big inspiration for me. And I want to empower other women to like have money. And money's not a dirty word. It just makes us more of who we are. So if you're Bernie Madoff, slapdick, then you're just going to be more of that. If you're generous and magnanimous and you want to make the world a better place, you're just going to be more of that.
Yeah.
And so like, I think for women, especially, it's so important to like get our shit together so we can take those leadership positions in our communities, because there's only one Ann Keeney, there's only one Maleah Jacobs, there's only one, Keisha Mott, there's only one Terry Smart, there's only one Jolinda Johnson, there's only one Debbie White, there's only one Aileen Rothwell. We get to be who we are. We get to combine our interests, hobbies, passions, and pursuits with our talents, our skills, our expertise, and combine them, and then have you help us monetize that stuff, and then help with the execution of it all. Like you're there at every single possible like gap, you fill it. Like anytime I have something, you're there. Anytime I don't know, you're there. It's mind-boggling.
You said that
the amount accessibility to you. I just like, I'm pinching myself all the time. Like, thank you, universe, for thinking, like being in that was the other thing. Like when you mentioned when I was having the health thing and the traumatic brain injury and not enough blood flow to my brain, and it was a big deal. That was like my 6th, I've lost count of the TBIs that I've had. And I was in Maui and totally horizontal. My chef Tara brought me air miles. I was just lying there like a bump on a pickle. And you were like, get with Gabby Bernstein. You've got to be, like, this is a mindset thing. And I did not like to hear that. No. I didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You called me out on my mindset stuff. And I fancied myself as like, I walk my talk and blah, blah, blah. And I was calling it spiritual terrorism. Like, oh, like I brought on this, like all this health stuff and the challenges and being disabled or chronically ill and all that stuff. Now I've taken ownership of my experience on the planet. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But you did the work. You took that control back And it wasn't easy. You had to do the work. And like you said, there's a lot of things where I always say, like, Maleah and Paula, you two were my biggest pushbacks, right? Like you pushed and you fought so many of the little things, and I'm like, come on, ladies, and you pushed back, and you guys pushed and pushed, and then finally it clicked for you, right? And you took that ownership, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't like this. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to be like this. It's not even who I am. So it's so out of my element, out of my integrity, because it's not even who I want to be. It's not who I am. And like, that was the shift. Like, it just took a little bit of time and inner work and some back and forth, but I stayed consistent as well with, like, Maleah, come on, you can do this. Like, come on, like giving you those different perspectives, and like, let's look at it this way, or let's look at it that way. And you're like, oh my gosh, okay. And you were very open to that and exploring the ways that felt right for you. And once you adapted those, it was like, okay, that I can get behind. Okay, that feels good. And once we found what those things were, it was like, it felt like overnight shift, right? It was
because I did the work.
Right.
Any resources you sent me, I did the work. I listened to the book. I read the thing. I did the meditations. It's all mindset. It happens here first.
Yeah. You could struggle for 5 years, and then in 5 seconds, you could turn your whole situation around.
Yep. I've done that. I feel like every day I'm doing that, because I'm not the same woman that I was even like on today's training. I'm a different, like, and that was just an hour or so ago.
Constantly.
And this afternoon, I'll be like, I'll feel different.
Yeah, I love that.
And especially in this climate with all the stuff that's going on the planet, the coronavirus being another layer, but just the political, the election, all this stuff that's going on the planet, we get to shine. We get to show up and show out and make the world a better place and have that impact and be the legacy leavers. And like, I can get behind that because I know what I'm against, but I'm not focusing on what I'm against, because I'm so for like being a profitable entrepreneur, that I'm so for women and children, being supported, and men too. And, mental health awareness and all that stuff. It's like you gave me the permission to have blinders on, because I don't care about all the other stuff or other people's stories, that like, there's other people to serve those people. I'm going to be over here because I'm here to serve the people I'm here to serve, just like you're here to serve the people you're here to serve.
Yep.
And like, if you're listening to this, watching this, and you're doubting or you're not sure, just pretend like you do know. Like, get with your inner business expert and ask yourself and sit with it. Like, sit, unless you're on the fence, sit on the side of I didn't make this decision, and sit with that for an hour. See what your body tells you. Your body will tell you. Your emotions will tell you, and then get on the other side of the fence of, yes, I've made the decision to be profitable. Sit with that. It's going to feel so different, and you will know. And it may put butterflies in your tummy, and that's a yes. That's a yes that you want to go with. Like, you want the butterflies.
I've never had anyone come in the program, from Jolinda to Debbie to you to Paula to Terry. I mean, I can go on and on. Every last one has been like, I'm scared as fuck, but I'm so excited. Even the men, I'm so scared, but like, I'm so excited. At the same time, I'm feeling all this, and I'm like, you made the best decision right there.
Oh my gosh,
confirmation,
totally.
Right decision.
Yep.
If it felt easy and good and like, oh, whatever, this is nothing, not good, it's not high enough level for you.
Well, like, I wouldn't even be in the group.
Yeah.
Right. If I was so, you would have let me in.
I would let you in. I know. I love people say, like, no, you can't come in, right? I have to protect the space. It's not for everybody. Perfect.
Nope. But for the people it's for, oh my gosh, go for it. Just go for it. You already know. Like, you already know.
We're all on the other side, waiting, ready, open arms.
Yeah.
It's an amazing community over there.
It's a family. It really does feel like a family.
It is.
And I know, like, with the Marguerite, that $17,000 launch, oh my gosh, like, what a huge win.
That's so big.
I'm just seeing all these success stories happen. And I'm so excited for the new people, and some of them are my clients that are now profitable, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a mutual love fest.
I always say it's like, it's hard to explain it. You need to experience it, right? Like, it's so hard to put it into, like, they're not emotionally connected, so it's hard to put it into words. Just come experience it and you'll understand, right?
And I think, like, last week's workshop, is a pretty good dose of it,
It's a little
but
dose.
it's like one bit. It's really, in the scheme of things, it's like one component. There's so much more. And the Voxer access, oh my Lord, that is the biggest thing.
It's huge.
I don't always use it, but I know that I can, and that makes a lot of difference right there.
Yeah, and it's fast. It's like that. I've got this question. I have this thing coming up. We get in there and handle it so quick. There's no waiting. You don't wait for a session. Like, get in there and make it happen. Like, we're there. It's very high touch. It's just a super customized.
I've never felt so outrageously supported in any time or place in my life ever as being a profitable.
Oh my gosh.
Being in your orbit with Ella and your fam and how you roll and the other people that you attract into your, I just love your transparency. I love you. I love like how you operate. I love what you're about. I love that you are making the world a better place. I love that you have this big ripple effect. I actually reached out to David Nagel, who is person. I was like, I just want you to know that I'm working with Dan Keeney, and she is really blowing my mind and exploding my mindset which is impacting millions, because I'm serving women who are then serving other women who are then serving other men, and men too. Yeah, it's like it's just huge, and I want to be an innovator. I want to be impactful. I want to be that. So I am that now. I wasn't before, because I was limping along, living above my neck, not being fully embodied. And you've just like given me permission to take good and gentle care of myself and do the next indicated thing. Lean into it, move forward.
You're doing it. I love it. I love all the transformation. I love you. You know that. Like, you guys are so amazing. Maleah, thank you for sharing this. I think it's going to inspire people. I think people need to hear this. Even if they don't join, it's going to have an impact on them. And I think that that's a beautiful thing in and of itself, right? Thank you so much for taking time to be here. Take care of yourself, your family. I love you. And I'll see you very soon on the other side. Awesome. Thanks, so much love to you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.